Like I say, I've been doing it 20
I'm
years.
right up to the property line.
Well, you know that knob right before you turn to go to the
Yeah, and I'm
school there.
online
Do
back-
what?
I
The
know
knob
that
that
back
you,
there, and it's
you
actually
turn to
city
go to
creek.
the school, coming up Main
I don't
Street.
know what you guys
Yeah,
want.
That's not my property and I've mowed that for the last 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we do
think,
take care of it because we are.
Well,
because I want it
you
to
know,
look nice.
like you guys was talking about a usable alley, this is not a usable alley. It ends right there at my property line and Randy's, Randy Graham.
So we need to, when the attorneys can say what we can and can't do, or should not do, it'll be up to the council to decide, I think, what we can and can't. Once we find out what's legal or not. Yes, Randy, you have a question?
No, just a comment. This was hit on a long time ago by Ed Warner Combs when he was mayor. And he wanted to basically vacate the city properties on these alleys that were not being used to the landowners so that they would be maintained. And it was beneficial to those landowners and everyone else, and beneficial the city didn't have to weed eat or spray bugs or whatever. And the lawyer said flat out, you can't do that. If you're gonna get rid of that property behind your alley, that has to go out to bid in the city. And I have every right to bid on that property.
Yeah, why not
Along,
make money?
you don't vacate it, you put
Right.
it out for bid. So I can buy that 50 feet behind your house.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that's-
basically the lawyer shut it down. That was a long time
Well,
ago.
it probably helped shut it down when some of these deals that have been coming up, that have occurred in the past, reminded us that previous people sitting in these chairs made foolish decisions in that regard.
Yes.
She heard the question.
Yeah, you have a
Oh, I
question?
was just gonna say, if something like that gets out of control and we miss it, you can always stop at the shop and just tell us, hey,
Sure.
this is getting, this needs sprayed, or, it's a lot
Or
easier
I'm
if you
tired
come to
of mowing
us
You know,
ourselves.
like in this gentleman's case, I'm tired of mowing it.
I'm not happy with you. I already got one of those.
No, I mean, it's easier and it
Okay.
gets taken care of.
I like
faster.
the, I like the
I can let it
exercise.
go to weeds, it don't make any difference to me.
I enjoy the exercise.
I keep the weeds down so they don't get into my property.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are aware then that we're gonna set up a time that's gonna be posted. The attorneys will look at this and we'll figure out what we gotta do. We wanna do it right.
And so will we find out, will you let us know what the status is at the next meeting, or
On what?
Yes.
on
As
what
soon
you're
as the
gonna deal
attorneys-
with the alleyways?
When the attorneys get through with their research and everything that they do on it, they will get back with the town and it will be public information.
Yeah.
And it'll be dealt with.
He'll spend a day with Terry and then he'll come back to us.
Yeah, he'll come back to us and in at a meeting, we can discuss it.
Well, it's not only with Terry, but with, Mrs. Combs,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll
and with the next
We'll
We'll know
item
how to
that's on the
proceed.
list.
I guess what I'm saying is we'll know how to proceed on all of that.
Yes. We'll have a plan as to how we gotta proceed with it, or not proceed with it.
Well, was that deal that, when you guys give that piece of property to Perkins, was that legal to do?
That's a question you should ask the lawyer.
That's what we're gonna,
We're not lawyers.
that's what,
We already give it
That
to
was
him.
before any of us.
We're not lawyers.
Yeah.
And we didn't give it to
as
them.
far as that goes, yes, that is with the lawyers, and I believe Mr. Terry Keller is gonna address that when he sits down with the attorneys. And I do believe that he probably will. Not speaking for him, but I'm gonna talk to him and ask him if it's something he's willing to do.
Yeah, it's like blaming the Obama administration for something Nixon did, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's move on to letter regarding blockage of an alley.
Somebody
Saw
put
that.
a little fence across the alley. Does this need to be notified to
Oh,
remove the fence?
Oh, he not only has the fence across there, he parks his,
He parks a little pickup trailer. and
there's a
moves
pickup
it-
trailer.
Moves
yeah.
it every 2 or 3 days, or
Uh,
every week or so. I drive by there, I've seen it moved
Yeah.
here and moved there.
And
But
it-
the thing
and-
is, that the fence across it just needs a notification to remove the fence.
And to move the
And
trailer.
keep the trailer out of the alleyway.
Mhm.
It doesn't impede
Do we
Fire
need,
truck.
do we need to have the sheriff's office do that?
Probably the sheriff would be best.
The sheriff, the attorney got this letter and he said that we can have that fence removed. They can.
Okay,
go
so we
on
need
Well,
to have
just
the
give,
sheriff's
give the
department.
homeowner a chance to do it himself,
Or that too.
please.
Yes. You do that, if it doesn't happen, then we need to get hold of the sheriff's office and have
I
them speak.
don't, I just drove by there, I don't see why the fence is actually there. I mean, it's not an act, the alley hasn't been used, it's grass, but why put a fence across it?
Because he says it stops the kids from four-wheeling up and down through the alley.
That's
But
it.
I haven't
Yes.
seen a four-wheeler on the
Yeah,
alley.
there's no
But-
grass disturbed in that.
But if people
Excuse
do
me.
use it, I've used it, I use it several times in a
Yeah.
year. The gentleman at the end of the property, the end of my property, he uses it every night. But he has to back in the alley because that fence is there
And
and the
it's city
trailer's
property.
there. And then he drives out.
Yeah, and it's city property, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's actually, like, I went behind my house and put a fence across the alley and charged toll for the garbage truck.
It's not a bad idea, but.
Well, I know what to think about.
Okay, so the plan or the action will be then, Jan, you'll talk to the people and see if they'll remove that.
The sheriff can hang it.
And if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
how long you guys figure, a week?
A
Give them a
week.
week, 10
Yeah,
days?
a week.
You know, about 5
7 to 10 days?
Yep.
To remove the fence?
7 to 10 days,
And the trailer.
in the trailer.
yeah, that needs to be, and part of that is the fire department or ambulance needs to be able to go up and down these alleys.
Access.
That should probably be written and not verbal.
Mm-hmm.
It would be written anyway.
Yeah, it'll be written. And if it doesn't happen, then the sheriff's office can visit with them.
I'll let Josh know about it.
Okay.
What's the address of where that's at?
It was an anonymous letter that came into the office. I don't know who owns the fence.
We'll get you that.
And
Okay,
stuff, so.
yeah, then I can give it to Josh.
There's
Yes,
a location. That's all
the
I know.
alley behind Jason Southern's brother.
It's between North Montana and Harley.
School Street.
North Montana and School Street?
And Harley
Okay.
and
It's right at
North
Mason,
Street
they
goes
don't go
east
up
and
to the
west.
Catholic church.
Yeah.
I'll go find it and get him an address.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. Right here.
I don't know what you do. This is a really old plat map.
That's clean.
Okay. Do we have anything else on the blocked alley? Any other comments?
Yeah, the main thing that I was gonna ask about is that last September, or the meeting, the 15th of October that we had. There was no definitive answers about anything that Tammy raised about the budget. All the discrepancies.
Well, we are going to have another budget meeting, and those items can be brought up at that time.
You know, like she mentioned,
This-
32,000.
Excuse me,
So that's been taken care of.
we need to wait for just a minute on this. Because we're discussing the alley. However, let's go to public comment for those items not on the agenda.
Okay.
And your question about the budget, we're gonna have another budget is going to be scheduled. And I'm not sure when. However, it's gotta be very soon because we have to have it in and done within the next week. And the items on that can be addressed at that point. We're not gonna discuss budget items tonight. It's not a meeting about the budget.
Well, it's old business. It's something that wasn't on the agenda. I brought it
Yeah.
up.
Yep, you brought it up, and I told you we're not gonna address it tonight.
Okay,
and we'll address that at the budget meetings. Anything else?
Don't you have to, publicize that for 2 weeks or whatever, before all the budget meetings? And last time it wasn't done legally,
The last time it's been published, all the preliminary budget meetings have been published for 2 weeks prior to the meeting. The final one does not have to be published. The final one was published the last time, but we called the meeting adjourned and nothing was done, nothing was voted on. And stuff, so, as far as a public hearing for the final budget, no, and it has to be the final budget. It has to be into the state by the end of this month.
Okay.
So his question was, do we have to have it advertised for 2 weeks prior?
I don't believe so, I will check out
Okay,
tomorrow, I will
check.
call local governments for sure.
Okay.
They're looking at the budget as we speak.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to suggest that something as important as that should be posted certainly more than 2 days before the event. I think it's only fair to the public.
Well, we'll look at the, what the rule says, and then we'll go by that. Thank you for your comment. Yes?
Two quick things. Number one is, I do have a copy of your contract for your garbage disposal. And, with Republic Services. And there is nothing in there stating that you can't raise the rates. And
Yeah, I don't think anybody said there was.
No, we didn't.
Mrs. Miller did.
Oh, did she?
Yes,
I didn't
she
hear
did.
that.
But she wasn't going by the contract, she was going by the resolution that was passed at one point for, rates during, so we'd have to look at the resolution she was referring to.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
it's
think
a
our
resolution that's.
hands are not tied.
Okay. But
And just,
just because if you was to raise it 2%, say,
Yeah.
I figured it out, it was like 34 cents a year. So had you been doing it all along,
Nobody would have known.
people don't bitch
Yeah.
about 34 cents.
Right.
But when you don't do it for 6 years and now you raise it $2.20 some cents, they kind of,
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
well, you can understand,
At some point, I'm gonna propose that we take 2% when our vendors do.
yeah, we need to look at all these rates.
Yeah,
As a council, we need to look at these things.
and fees as well.
And the fees, yes, they all need to be looked at and addressed. It's, not been the best of years for us to get together and try to come up with some kind of plan. I know that it does not stop them from billing us. And they get their scheduled increases. It is not a very, anyway.
Okay, the other thing I have is, it's been stated, and I'm well aware, because I do look through here, that Jan has worked a lot of overtime and Jan hasn't taken wages. And Jan needs to be paid her overtime wages for the past couple of years. You can put the city in a heck of a bind, because I was just talking to an old timer the other day about a gentleman that used to be in Jay's position, and they worked him like he was at a dairy, day and night, and when he left, he got a heck of a settlement from the state because he turned in his overtime.
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact, I had talked to both Jan and Jay about making sure that their hours are put down. Whether they do it, I don't come in and check to see whether they do or don't. But I do know that I have talked to both of them about making sure, because they need to be paid for the time that they're here.
But if somebody doesn't manage it, it's gonna cost somebody.
I do realize it. I realize that.
Anything else?
Any other items that we should discuss? Okay, next meeting date. When?
November 10th is will be our next scheduled regular council meeting. It's Tuesday, at 7 p.m.
Tuesday the what?
November 10th
November 10th?
Is it 7 or 7:30?
at 7.
Okay,
It would be a regular, and then we will decide on budget meetings and what we do.
okay, just text me when you find out, Wayne. And then also, let us know if we need to get together and help Mr. Lee with his
Yes.
challenge there as well. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Before you make a motion, I would like to thank everyone for coming tonight and participating.
Thank you for doing
Thank you
a
very
great
much.
job.
I'll second that, Nate.
So we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Signing this one down?
This is last month's bills. This is last month's bills.
Okay.
I gotta find my binder, I don't know where my.
Is that a copy for